What's up, everybody? I'm Julian McClurkin.
I'm Casey McClurkin.
Yes, you are.
Yes, ma'am.
You're tuned in to YouTube. Come on in, let's have some fun. We're going to be talking to you guys today about relationships, and something that I wanted to kind of talk about is somewhere I feel like we've excelled, and that is the long distance relationship that we have. It's kind of like in the middle,
Half on, half off.
What more perfect place to do that than right here at the airport, which is like a common. Oh my gosh, if you think about it, like the airport has held some pretty memorable times in our life.
Yeah. Not only do we come here all the time for pickup and drop off, but Julian proposed at the airport.
Oh, link to that video right there. If you want to see the link to the proposal, click on that link. Pretty cool. Planned it. It was awesome. But, so we're at the airport today. We flew here together, but we have to fly somewhere else separately. Like, I'm going to Wichita.
I'm going back home.
Yeah, Casey's going home. How do you think we deal with, like, the sadness that comes along with that?
Well, I mean, it is sad. It's not easy saying hi and bye all the time. And I think that's something people maybe don't realize when they see us, because I think we're both generally happy. But it is sad when you go home alone and you're used to being. When we got married, I just got this very overwhelming sense of like oneness, and we're a unit. Like it was for sure, marriage is for sure a spiritual thing, because you just feel a closeness to someone like in a way that you haven't felt before when you're dating. And so when you're apart, it really feels like part of you is missing. And
at the same time, when we get back together, I know we were just talking about this. We haven't been physically together
for 3 weeks.
But it feels like less than that.
It feels like we were never apart when like, we get back together.
As soon as we got back together, we picked right back up where we left off.
But to answer your question, I think the thing that's most important for us is prayer. And you pray for yourself and you ask the Lord to help you to cope and have peace with the situation, but we also pray for one another. And I think I don't know, like when I pray for you and you're not around, it's almost like your faith has to be so much stronger and so much greater, because I can't see you. I don't know exactly what you're doing every minute of the day, but like when I pray for you to have a good day, I really want you to have a good day. And when I pray for you to be safe, I really, really want you to be safe. So
that's a trait too I've been noticing, and I know we were talking about it earlier, that when we pray for each other, it's almost like we mean it even more. Like when I'm just praying by myself, for myself, selfishly, I'm like, Lord, please, bless me, keep me, allow me to have a great day. And then when I start thinking about my wife, I really want the Lord just to bless her and make her day prosperous and peaceful and impactful for whoever it is that she would run into that day. And I never really used to do that before. It was always a struggle for me to pray for other people, and it was easy for me to pray for myself. But when it comes to my wife, that's someone I really want the Lord to do something for.
It's almost like the other person's well-being is more important than yours. Because I feel the same way. I can pray for myself, but I really feel like I can pray for you better than I can pray for myself. So it's good to have, you need that person praying for you as hard as you're praying for them.
It's good to know you got somebody praying for you too on the other end.
Because when you're by yourself, I've got the puppy at home, but I can't talk to him. I could talk to him, but he doesn't talk back.
Our dog is saved though. Max is saved. And y'all look at this video of Max's conversion when Casey read the Bible to him. Okay.
Actually, you're almost 6 months. It's time to talk about the war, okay? We have to talk about the Bible. Did you know there's puppies in the Bible, Maxie? Did you know that?
That's Max getting saved.
So yeah, it can get lonely if you let it get lonely, but there's a difference between being lonely and just being alone.
Yeah. All right. So, do you have any advice for people who are going through long distance relationships?
You have to communicate. You have to talk because that's really all that you have. But I think you also have to find ways to keep the relationship fun and exciting. Like Julian sends me flowers sometimes, or he.
I need to do that more.
Well,
I need to do that more.
He'll, put something in the mail and send it to me that I'm not expecting, or I think I've left something in your suitcase before, or when I do see him, I've got something special for him that he didn't know I was gonna have. So you can still have to find things to make the relationship feel normal, like a normal couple who can see one another whenever they want to.
I love the age of technology that we're in now, though.
Oh, I don't know how people did it before FaceTime.
They didn't.
Cell phones and texting, emails.
Yeah.
Julian emailed me when I went to Cuba when I was in school.
I did, didn't I?
He did, and it was so heartwarming because the internet down there at the time was not the best, and your cell phone didn't work, and you were truly cut off from people. You couldn't call anybody. And so, like, once a day we had access to email, and being able to get that, was great. But I can't imagine a period of time where we wouldn't be as accessible to each other.
So I didn't know that Cuba story. I didn't know that was special.
I still have that email in my inbox. It's still in my inbox.
Look at this email. Cuba.
And how do you deal with it? Because I think I have it easier because I get to go home to our home every day with our stuff, but you're like in a different hotel, like you're really truly away from home.
Yeah, I like to stay busy. I noticed that the idle mind is the devil's workshop. The busier and busier I stay, the less I think about how I'm not next to the person who I'm one flesh with now. So, I started a YouTube channel. It's oddly enough, when I go home, I really don't have a lot of time to do YouTube or do, a lot of social media. And I noticed
I got stuff waiting for you when you get home.
Yeah, not good stuff either. She talk about I gotta do the lawn, I gotta do laundry, I gotta do.
That's just maintenance. That's not bad.
And
when was the last time you vacuumed?
Work. I vacuumed at least 2 days before I left last.
And then before that,
I try to make sure my wife doesn't have anything to do when I'm at home. I take her to work every day. I make it count. Yeah, I make it count. Don't I take you to work? Come on.
He does. He cooks dinner.
I buy
anything
dinner.
I ask. Anything I ask to be taken care of around the house, he does it. He stays home with the dog.
My wife has a cupcake business. I try to help her so much with her cupcake business.
Yeah.
Look at these cupcakes. You think that just happens? They are delicious.
You got about 3 things to insert in this video.
I got a lot of inserts. There's gonna be some editing going on.
I hope you like editing. Did you answer the question?
Oh, yeah. I think I did. What was the question?
About how you deal with...
Oh, yeah. I said I stay busy.
Keep yourself busy. And then what was the second thing you asked me?
Do I have any advice? Do you have any advice for
Oh yeah, did you give advice?
advice? One thing I had to learn in my previous relationships, I thought that in order to communicate with somebody,
Relationship with who?
with Jesus, my previous relationships, I thought you had to constantly talk to the person to be communicating. So, like, you ever been on the phone with someone and
Oh, yeah.
and you're not talking?
You wake up, what are you doing? Where are you going? Okay.
Yeah,
What are you doing now? Okay.
yeah. And then, but there were times like we would ride in a car together, or we would just be talking. Let me stay with long distance stuff. We would be apart. I'd be in one hotel and you'd be back at home, and we're on the phone, but we're not saying anything. And I'm like, well, we're not talking, so can I go? Like,
And there's nothing wrong with that because there's not always something to talk about every moment of every day, especially when you're not in the same space.
Right.
You kind of get the person caught up, but you still have stuff to do, and
Right.
it's not always convenient to
Yeah.
be on the phone. And it doesn't make your relationship any less loving or considerate or genuine.
but not talking sometimes is good too, because like sometimes I just wanted to. I realized I just wanted to be close to you. I just wanted to be around you and feel connected to you.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
realized you wanted that from me too. Like when we did finally get together, right? Our car rides, they weren't like filled of just like, if you sat in the back seat of us in a car ride, like headed to church or somewhere, or headed to go get some food, we're not talking the whole time. And I thought like that meant something was wrong, but we just really wasn't talking. We were just happy to be with each other. Like, same thing in our house. Like, we'll be in the same room. We don't like being in separate rooms in our house.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, most of the time we're there.
I get real clingy when he comes home. It's a wrap. If you want to see him, I'm sorry, because he's on my time.
Take a number.
Well, I mean, you still go play basketball and stuff like that.
Oh,
but
yeah. I'm not.
I'm
not
looking
on
for
lockdown
him.
now.
I'm looking for him when I get off work because it's my time. So if you're in a long distance relationship, or maybe you're not in a long distance relationship, and you have some thoughts on this topic, how to make it last, how to keep it fun, exciting, and interesting, drop a couple of lines in the comments. We'll keep the conversation going. You can ask us questions. You can ask each other questions. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye, everybody. Oh, make sure you subscribe.
What if it's over here?
Make sure you subscribe.